What's up, everybody? This is your favorite video gamer here, Hayden4230, coming at you with a new game that you guys haven't seen in a while. It's called Railway Empire. It's a new game. I just bought it. Well, I got it for my birthday, and I played it for a little bit, and I said, you know, this is a perfect game to do a live stream. So I decided tonight that I wanted to do a live stream on it. So hopefully everything goes well, and hopefully you all like it. I'm getting my room set up here for the recording, so I'm going to get up out of my chair. So I played the game, and then I deleted all my saved games, but there's campaign mode with chapter 1, 3, 2, 4. They're all different. Number 1 is the basic, and then the rest are all that. I think chapter 4 is going to be the hardest one if I ever decide to do a campaign. It's basically the Civil War area, and you have to transport guns and ammunition and soldiers all the way to the front line. And you're in really short time limits of doing that, so that one's going to be hard. Then we got scenarios, which is just boomers after the Civil War for like oil, gold, and coal, and all that. Like in here, the West, it's the gold rush, so I'd have to transport gold to my hometown, and then from there on, wherever I want it. But today we are going to be playing in free mode. We are going to do the whole United States, and we are going to start from 1830, and we're going to end at 1930. So we got that whole time period of whatever we want to do. We can start off with $1 million to $2 million. I like to start out in one. I'm going to start out in my starting city, which is Denver. It's the closest to my actual hometown. So we are going to do Denver. I can start in any major city, and I think it's the capitals. I think. And then I can choose my competitors. For this, I'm going to do one. And then I can put them on easy, normal, or difficult. But we're going to keep it on normal. Rail network, it means you have to put in signals and passing tracks for the trains to pass. Normal, they can just glitch through each other. Same with normal AI. But I like to keep it on realistic. The pause, I can change the pause menu to manual, but it takes off points. Game level, we can put it to pro and Titanic. I usually keep it on normal. Snowfall, we're going to turn that on. So basically what snowfall is, it just generates snow and actual snowing. So anything from Denver up that's closer to Canada or wherever you get snow, it's going to be really snowy. So give me a minute here, and I got to sign in to do some stuff really fast, and then we can jump right into the YouTube. Well, not YouTube, into the game. So hopefully everything goes planned well. My audio actually works this time. If not, I'd have to readjust something. So we are going to start off everything.
Isn't my uniform
and then
fabulous?
I can pick my character.
I designed it myself.
The general, he does 10% on lower track construction.
We'll send them home in
gangster,
body. Send them packing.
More of the robbers and stuff, which are going to come in handy with my competitor.
Meticulous planning.
Industrialist. I
Figures
can increase
and
my
hard
plate
facts.
price. For
There's no
5%.
way to halt the
The
progress of
engineer,
technology.
I get a 20% additional points for research a month.
Niles? Niles!
The lady,
Where is my little
5%
jar
higher
with all
ticket
the
prices for
candy?
my passengers.
We'll just wrap them all around our little finger.
The trickster, 20% discount on all locomotives and auctions.
Strong leadership
But I
and
usually go with
discipline are the
general
path to
because
victory.
10% lower track construction. That's pretty good. So I already put in my name, and then I put in my railroad company, which is Railroad Empire, because I can't think of any other good companies. You guys can
Are
think
you
of
a
any
man
good
or
other
a mouse?
companies for the game.
This is no time to
leave a
hesitate.
comment and I'll see which one's the best, and I'll use that one. So we're gonna get jumped in and started here.
Your company has been founded and your task list created. You have one competitor in this scenario.
Okay, so this is where it kind of gets confusing to everyone. I'll explain it here in a couple minutes. Basically, so we're in January, well, February right now. The months are flying by. So we start in Denver. Don't have nothing. We only have $1 million. So we gotta build a train station, which I usually start off with a small train station, and I can rotate it. So I'll rotate it like that, and I'll put it closest to the outer edge, because the more your city expands, you won't be able to extend these tracks, because you can extend these tracks to wherever you want. So so in this game, there's a variety of different things. There's corn, oil, cattle, clay, wheat, vegetables, cotton, milk, and your city here, you have a supply and a demand. So anything with the wheat that says 0.0, that's how much I got in my inventory for my city. And then the 0.3 with the barrels with the arrow going out, that's how much is in demand. That's how much they need. So I have to bring 0.3 of wheat in so that way they can use it. I have to bring cattle in so they can use it. I have to bring corn, lumber, and then they have meat, and then I need beer. So what I need to do, I need to go over here to my cattle. I need to build a train station. Now see, this here's different. So anything in this red circle I cannot place. So I have to place the station outside the circle. I usually like doing it kind of close to the circle, if you ask me. So we'll run our track, and I'll explain to you about the track here in a minute once I get it laid. I want this straight as possible, which I don't think that's gonna kind of work down. There, that looks straight. Okay, so with laying track, you run into different problems and some difficulties. First problem that you have when you lay your track, you always gotta watch this little number here, the 1%. If it gets 1%, or if it gets anything higher than 10% or 5%, you gotta click these little points here, and you gotta drag your track until it reaches either 5 or lower. So I like the way that's at. That's at 4%. That's at 1. I could probably make this higher. But up on my track instruction, it tells me the length of the track, which is 154 miles long. It tells me how much money I spend in tracks, which is $44,192. Earthworks is where you move the dirt, and I spent like $6,396, which that ain't that bad, but I don't like spending money that much. See, like right here, I got a 9% incline. I cannot have that 9% incline. So I will remove that track point, I guess. And everything looks okay, so we'll build that track. So here's where it gets fun. We'll go to add new train. So we gotta add in a rail line, which rail lines from city to city. So we'll add in a rail line. We'll put it as freight only, and we'll run it from Hobbs Ranch to Denver. So we'll save and end that route. And now we gotta buy a locomotive, which is the Grasshopper, which is $30,000. So we got him bought, and now we come over here. He's gonna load up with cattle, and then he's gonna haul it to Denver. So that way we ain't gotta worry about it. And I can also speed up time here, so let me speed up time. So if you can get Denver and this one connected right away, you should be fine.
He who saves
So now
wins.
Denver needs beer, so I gotta find a town that has beer. Bismarck has beer, but I don't want to travel that far, and I'd have to spend a little bit of money building a bridge, because you can't cross the river. You have to build a bridge, or I can build a bridge and go through this mountain. But I'm gonna look for another city that's closer. Miles City, that's closer, but it's still too terribly far. And if I want to do it, I'd have to probably go around the mountain, around this, and then go around the milk. Casper, let's see. Casper does beer. Wouldn't have to go that far. Just have to go around here. Yeah, we'll do that. So we'll go around. Well, hang on. We'll build a train station. And then we will build our track. But what I really want to do is I want to build a train station somewhere on the outside here, so that way I can collect my wheat, bring it into Casper to make beer, and then if Casper expands, I can put vegetables into Casper. Same with the corn, I can bring that into Casper and Miles City. Same with the sugar beets and the wood and so on and so forth. So basically this game's a lot of thinking. We gotta think of how much this is gonna cost us, what we all need to go to Denver to make Denver bigger and populate. Like Bismarck over there, they're populating all by themselves. So we can start running line to Casper to Denver, and then we can send beer to Denver from Casper directly. So I'm gonna get my rail station put in, gonna add my line. So, and you guys, you really don't have to do this as neatly as I do. I like to keep my tracks straight, well, semi-straight, because it's easier to tie into later on down the road. So I like that. Earthworks, not that bad. I got a 0%, 2%, 0, and 1, so that's good. So we build that. Okay, so now we're gonna get into doing freight from town to town. So I'll add my rail line. Now this is where it gets fun, because if you keep your train on automatic, it's only going to do passengers, mail, and some freight. But if you come down here where it says loading, you can switch it to passengers and mail, or freight only, or manual, which I can pick what I want going to Denver, what I want going to Casper. But I like to keep it on freight only because whatever I need actually goes in there. So we'll select that. We'll start our route. So we'll go from Denver to Casper. We'll save the route. We'll buy our locomotive. And then we got a competitor, and I can bid. So I want the John Hancock, and he wants it too. So he bidded, and then I bidded. So now I gotta sit here and wait until the bid's over.
Did you foresee these expenses?
And now I got the John Hancock. And then here's my competitor right here. Now, if I want to get smart with my competitor, which I do, I want to come over here to my company. I want to go down to where I can see all the rivals and stuff. I want to click on him. I can buy shares and sell shares. So I want to get smart, and I want to buy half of his railroad if I can.
Invest as much in me as you want.
The more I buy off of his railroad, the more money I make, and I have an opportunity of doing a monopoly with him. So he can set up the rail lines for me, and then I can buy the rail lines off of him, and I ain't got to worry about it. But see, over here on my competitors, he's got signals and double jointed tracks. Basically what the double jointed tracks are, they're passing tracks. Let me see here. Let's see, so a train can go in, and if there's a train sitting right here and a train sitting up over there, on one track you can't do it, so you have to have a passing. So that's what he did. He set up a signal track where on this line right here it comes in, and then on this line it goes straight out. And then he did crossover tracks, so that way he can do his logs and corn. So he can send 2 trains to Keenman, and he also has another 2 trains running to Tucson, both on the same line. So that's all he did. He just took these 2 tracks right here, made them a passing, and he crossed over into his main existing line. So he can haul wood and corn, which we see right here. He's hauling wood and his corn. But anyway, not about my competitor. Let's go back over to me. And your competitors, like mine are blue. My tracks are white. And my towns and stuff are blue. His tracks, they're yellow. Same with his towns. So we just gotta keep an eye on our competitor, because he will eventually come over and hook into our hometown Denver, and he'll try to take our population away, our money away. He'll try to take a whole lot of things away from us. Okay, so now that we got our freight line set in from Denver to Casper, Casper's supplying Denver with beer, which we're getting right now, and then Denver's going to be supplying Casper with meat. So I want to do a passing line for my passengers, but before we do that, it's always important you have supply towers. The supply towers are water and coal. It's what keeps your trains going, so that way you don't break down and all that. And then what I also want to do, I want to construct a maintenance building when I have $80,000, so that way my trains never break down on the go. So now we got all this stuff set up. Now we gotta wait for a little bit. Or I can wait for money to roll in, or I can actually come into banking. I can invest in the stock market if I want to. I can buy low, sell high. Or I can take out a bond of $241,000, which I can do that. I'll do one for $241,000. But these bonds, they're all random. So like if I go take out another one,
a piece of paper.
You
can write something on that.
Up. So the more you pay off, you know, the more money you'll make when you go to take out another bond. So see, now this is where I'm gonna run into a problem, and I'll show you the problem here in a minute as soon as I get my passing line hooked in. Because my supply tower is actually interfering with my second passing line. Okay, so we got the supply line, or the second line hooked in. So now we gotta check out this little red piece of track here. So the only reason why it's red is because the supply tower is in their way. So we gotta take the demolish tool, we gotta demolish our tower, which I can't do it because the train is gonna use it. So we gotta wait for the train to pass, go into the station. Now we can take our little bulldozer tool and destroy it. Then we can go back to our track, and we can check our track. So those three are at 1, that's at 2, and this is at 0. So we will buy the track, we will go building and constructions again, and we will add in our supply tower, which we placed it. But here's the problem now. Since this is a passing line, we have to put signals in. So I have to put in a signal that's only a direct line. So this signal will, when the train leaves the station, they'll try to go on both tracks here. So this signal here with the little stop sign in front of it tells the train it can't go down this line. So I have to put one here, and I have to come all the way over. I have to go all the way up to Casper, and I have to put in one going this way for my signal, so that way the train can't come back down this line here. It'll only come down this line. So now here's another problem. So with these signals, if I do more than one train, I have to have multiple signals on the line, so that way if one train passes a signal, the other train can go. So that way I don't have a holdup between one station and another station. So I will add in a couple more signals on this line. And they're just going to be normal signals. They're not going to be a constant direction signal. It's just going to be a constant, or just a stop signal. So I got to put in one going back to Denver, and I got to put in one going to Casper. So I will put that in. And you have to space them out on the line like I'm doing here. So that way, if something does happen with the trains, they'll stop at the signals and wait their turn. I like to space them out fairly far, but not too far. And if they're too far, I leave them, and I always come back in with more. Because the signals, they are free, they don't cost me money. So it's the cheapest way, and it's the fastest way. Now right here, I placed 2 signals, and I have this stop signal. So what I actually want to do, I want to try to get as close as I can with the signal here. So I have 2 signals closer together. It's fine, it really doesn't matter. It just tells the trains. So see, now the train's going to go on this outer side, on the right hand side track, instead of going on my left hand side track. My right hand side track is Denver to Casper, and then my left hand side track is Casper to Denver. I know it sounds confusing. I'm really not the best explainer. But now, what we can do, we can go to our new train, we can add in a rail line, but I want to go to my route options, and I want to change it from automatic to passengers and mail only. So I want to do from Casper to Denver. This passengers and mail only, I can only do passengers back and forth.
When your trains break down, it is a reflection of your company's management.
And then here, I can also hire employees. Like this guy, he's an engineer. He does 5% more power, and he costs $1,250 to operate. I think that's per year he charges that much. So we'll go ahead and hire him, because we'll throw him on a train. This here, she's an inventor right here. I pay her $16,400, and I get 130 points every month for so long. So we will add in our express line here. We'll go to manage train, we'll go to engineer, and we'll put in our engineer that we just bought. So that way our passenger train is a non-stop train and has a higher chance of breaking down. I can do personnel, or I can do rail cars. Rail cars, I can increase my ticket revenue, my freight, revenue I can boost for my workers, so that way my employees are happy, and I can increase my mail. They're all increased by 20%. And then on this screen it just tells me power and everything. So we'll ride with this train for a couple seconds here and we'll see what he does. So that way you guys can get a feel for the passing tracks. So he'll come on this side, which is my right hand side. Oh, see, this is with the snowfall. The snow, it'll get on the tracks, it'll slow my trains down, it'll slow everything that I have down to a complete halt. So
somehow,
this guy's coming in.
Your trains don't
this guy
run
up here at the
smoothly.
station's about to leave. So it signals. One train's on the main line here. They'll wait, and then once that train gets onto that second line, it'll come into the station. So now we're hauling passengers, and now we're hauling mail. So we're getting $3,000 per train of passengers and mail. If you ask me, that's a pretty good payday. That's a lot of money in my pocket right there. So what I want to do, I want to come over here and check on my competitors. Doesn't look like he's doing anything really. But I'm gonna leave him. We'll see what he does. It looks like he put in a warehouse. No, that's a train station. So there's two different types of train stations here. Let me come over here on one of my towns and I'll show you. So we have a large train station. I'll come into Miles City here and I'll show you guys the train stations.
As I see,
So
you are set to expand
here's a
further.
large train station, which this is what he has in his little cattle businesses. So that's why I was getting confused. So the large train stations, they kind of look like warehouses. I can't buy the warehouse because I don't have enough money, but I don't want to hook up to this town just yet, so I'll just delete my train station. I also need to hook in to the wheat farm down here. So the way train stations work, anything in this little white square radius I can hook up to. So if I come a little bit down closer to the vegetable farm, I can hook into the vegetable farm and the wheat farm at the same time. So what I want to do is turn my train station where I'm not facing the mountain, and it's easier for me to connect up to my town, to Casper, without wasting a whole lot of money making tunnels. So if I carefully rotate it, I'll place it. There's 3 different types of train stations. The first one's a small, which I just bought. Then we got the medium, which is 2 tracks instead of 1. Then we got a large, which is 4 tracks instead of 1. The 4 tracks does come in handy, and it obviously comes with a bigger circle radius. So if I wanted to, I probably could have hooked into this coal mine. Yep, right here. I could have hooked into the coal mine and supplied coal, but I wanted the wheat, so. And I can eventually delete this train station and redo it. So I'll hook in my line. Now here's where I don't like. It kind of has this nice curve to it. I don't want that. So I'll kind of bring that in. Whoops. Oh crap. So never mind. I guess we'll have that nice looking curve in here. Well, never mind. I guess we won't. So we'll take it out. There. That's more like it. Nice, straight, perfect. So we'll buy our track. We will come to our new train. We will hit rail line. We will click rail options. And for loading, I want freight only. So this tells the train that I only want wheat and vegetables, and it's going straight to Casper. So I will save that, and I will buy my locomotive. I want my grasshopper. Okay, so we got that all set up, and now We got personnel. We got new personnel. So this here's a security guard. We want the security guard because she will protect our mail and everything else. We got a professor. If I spend 51,000, he'll give me up to 130 invention points, which we want. This guy, he's the press. Dachshund. Whatever I do, he'll lower it. I can hire or fire him whenever I want. So, since we hired the security guard, we want to come over here to our passenger train. We'll want to click the manage. We want to go over here to security guards. And we want to assign our security guard to our train. She protects our mail. She protects our passengers. So basically in the future, if my competitor over here, which doesn't look like he's doing much, he can send bad people to come and rob my trains. He can sabotage them. He can do a whole bunch of stuff, which we really, really don't want. So we got everything hooked up. Oh, we got a breakdown down here. So he broke down. What did you break down? Okay, it's just a random breakdown. He has plenty of fuel and everything.
When your trains break down, it is a reflection of your company's
I do apologize.
management.
These competitors, they absolutely love to talk. They will talk your ear off. I'll try my best to keep quiet when they talk. It's kind of hard not to when you have to kind of explain a little bit about the game. Because this is basically a new game. I ended up getting this for my birthday, which was like $50, $50 to $60 game. It was originally like $100, but I got it for a cheap discount. Well, I didn't get it. My grandma got it for a cheap discount. So we got our passing line. We got our Casper to Denver put in with our with the passing line. Now we need to put in. Well, we have the wheat to Casper. So now we got to come into Denver here. We got to go into the town. We got to check the supply and demand. It looks like they're getting corn. They're getting corn. I know they're getting cattle. They're not getting any wheat. So we find the wheat, the closest wheat station. There's one right here. There's a corn station right there. Okay, we're gonna have to tie into this line right here for this wheat. So I want to come down to new buildings. Okay, we got that set in. So this is where it gets challenging because I have to cross the river. So I want to get as close as I can. Then I want to start coming over. They'll build my bridge. And now I have a 17% incline, which I will finish tying into this line. Oh, I don't want to tie directly into it. I want to run along right beside it. Okay, so I'm going to run along right beside her. And then when I get down here, I'm going to tie into the line. So, right here. Come on, grab it. Okay, come right there. Okay, this is where it's going to be a problem because I got to get rid of this supply tower and I got to redo it. Oh. So we'll come under track construction. We'll push this back. We'll get rid of that. And we'll come back up here and we'll move the track. And then we'll continue the plan. Okay, so the line and everything's in now. So I gotta fix this 15% incline, because like I said, oh, sorry about that. Had to tickle my throat. So we will fix the incline. So we will try to bring it down to 1%. So we got it down to 1%, but this is at 8%. So what I want to do, I just want to kind of click and drag a little. Try to make it. Okay, there it is. So we got our 1% incline. That's 0. That's a 1. Those two are 4s, which they're okay. You really don't want 4s, but you don't want anything higher than a 5. And those two are 0s. Okay, that is perfect. We will build our track. We will come down to new train. We will do our rail line. We will do route options. Under loading, we will set it as freight only. And then we will go to the manor, to Denver. And then we'll save it. We'll buy our locomotive. And then now I'll show you guys the research trees. So this is my research tree. I can go all the way over to the ending era, which is 1930, and I can research anything I want. So I want the John Bull, so we'll research that and that. And then
I must admit, this locomotive
Basically,
does make a good impression on me.
Just decreases the percent of your locomotive from breaking down, and it increases, you know, a lot of good things that you really need. So we will come to our engine shed, and here's our John Bull. I can also rotate it. We can also move the camera. So there's our John Bull, and I can also hit the whistle. I can hear the whistle. I can check the fuel. Its fuel is wood. Its average speed is 21 miles an hour. Tractive power 21%, acceleration 76%, passenger rating 110%, reliability 104. Maintenance requirements is 102%, and consumption is 53%. And it does a mix, so it can do freight and passengers. Compared to this one, which this one, it's cool, it goes 18 miles an hour. But this train, the John Hancock, is just a remix of the Grasshopper. Just a little bit shorter. Well, no, not shorter. They just added a cab and they added some fancy things. So we will go to our John Bull. We will replace our locomotives. And I want to replace all of them. So I will do that. And I want to constantly check my personnel. He's the chief engineer, so we will throw him on our crew for our office. So now we did that, I'm going to check on the competitor. See, it looks like he's having problems, or that he's not even doing anything. Most people, they like to throw their train stations in the middle of the town. I don't, personally. But when I buy him out, I'll leave it, because I don't like redoing the whole line. If I delete the train station, the whole line gets deleted, and it just becomes a nice big nightmare, if you ask me. Oh, and I also forgot, there's a deal called tasks. So by 1846, I'm supposed to connect Denver to San Antonio, which, where is San Antonio? We'll slow down time. It's El Paso. And this map is the whole United States, so every major state capital is in this game, and it's kind of hard to find stuff when you're playing under the United States, just because the map is so big and you can only zoom out so far. Okay, so here's San Antonio. So we gotta find out how far away it is. It's not that far. So I think later on we'll do a line going from San Antonio to Denver. But what I mostly want to do, I want to get Denver to Bismarck. I want to get my hometown hooked up to all these other towns. So that way I can haul passengers, bring more passengers into my hometown, and make more money and a profit off of it. I'm going to check my competitor really fast to see how he's doing. Oh, here's my yearly report. So it tells me what most have I been spending in, what I need to fix, what I need to improve. So, and here's my competitor. So I'm currently worth $1,402,000, and then it just updated. And he's currently worth $992,840 now, because it updated. So I own 949.0 miles of track. He owns 705.8 miles of track. I own 5 trains. He owns 3. But the only problem is, he owns 0% of my stock. I own 60% of his. So we will increase this to, let's see here, because the game keeps updating on the go. So we will find a cheaper sell price. So I'll buy 79%. So I own 79% of his and he owns 0% of mine. I want to buy him out before he buys me out, because then I can merge the railroad companies into a monopoly, and I will own his line and he'll be completely kicked out of the game. So I'm going to speed up time.
Oh, a piece of paper. You can write something on that.
There we went. The characters just talked. They're extremely annoying, like I said, but sometimes you can get quite a laugh out of them. So, what I want to do, I'm going to check my personnel again. Got another engineer. Okay, here's where this gets fun. We got a bandit. So, we will hire the bandit. I will attack Roger. Roger, we'll call him. And how should the attack happen? He has a steel mill. I can rob the passenger. Or, my bad. Correction. I can steal mail. I can rob the passengers. And that's about it. So, this is where you guys can help me choose. What do you think I should do? Should I steal the mail? Or should I rob his passengers? And then I can select what train station I can do it. I can do Tucson or Keeneman. I'm mostly thinking about robbing the passengers, but I can also rob his mail. I honestly have no clue. It really kind of doesn't matter. It kind of matters and kind of doesn't. I can rob the mail. I forget what, it's like a 20% chance I can rob it and get that 20%. And then I can rob passengers and get their money. Okay, for fun and games, we'll just do passengers. So I hired the bandit, and now he's gonna go attack. And then we'll hire... Once we get the money, we'll hire her. Oh my god, I got like a tickle in my throat or something, making me cough a lot. I'm always smart. When I do my YouTube videos, I always keep a bottle of water or a bottle of pop right beside me. So that way, if I get thirsty, or if I keep coughing like I usually do, I can drink something and actually get rid of it. So, we will go back and we will wait for the AI character to say, "You robbed me," or "Nice try," because you have a 50-50% chance of succeeding or failing. Oh, well, no. Okay, so with this line for the cattle and the wheat, I could get away with it without doing a major signal passing line like we did here in Casper to Denver, because they're going to different places and the train's nowhere. But what I need to do, so since I don't have, so I have to put in a signal, 2 signals, one right here and here. So that way, if a train's in that station, a train will usually sit here and wait for that train to leave the station. So it's nice to have a signal up there, so that way the train can go up there. So that way we know. So we got our signals placed, and now we'll just let the money roll in. I can also change a lot of things around on the map. I can get rid of my rail lines and see the stress on my rail line on track 1 and 2. I can also see his trains perfectly clear with the yellow lines coming in and out. I can also see just my trains. I can see my red trains, my yellow, my green.
I was not familiar with these plans yet. Thank you.
Okay. So I think we either robbed him or we failed at it. But I don't want the engineer. So we'll go, no. This game's a little bit touchy. I don't think no, we didn't succeed yet. Because we haven't gotten any money. Did we hire this engineer? Yeah, we did. Okay. So, we'll come in, where's our freight train to Denver to Casper? Gotta find it. And that's our passenger. Here's our freight. So for our freight train, we will put in the engineer. So she's going to Denver and Casper, and he's going to Casper to Denver. This guy's our passenger, she's our freight. Because we want more power on our passengers.
You should keep your trains in better condition.
Okay, I know why this guy's talking to us that much. So what I forgot to do, I forgot to place my supply towers. This one only needs 1. This one might need 2, so there's 1 there. And then we'll place 1 right there. So then we'll come in a little bit closer. Place it on our dual track. And then we'll place it again, or, well, no, we can't place it because we don't have money. Okay. So now all we can do is sit back, let the money roll in, and while we're doing that, I am going to take a brief intermission so that way I can go let my dog outside because he kind of needs to go outside. So I will be back, and don't go anywhere. And I also will have my phone on me, and I will be also watching the comments, so that way if you guys can comment, I can message you guys back through the comments to let you guys know.
Somehow, your trains don't run smoothly. When your trains break down, it is a reflection of your company's management. Somehow, your trains don't run smoothly.
Okay, everyone, I am back. So, got the dog all taken care of and all settled. he is now currently on my bed sleeping now. So we rolled in a lot of money since I was gone. I am gonna check my personnel and see. We got a new engineer. We got an inventor, so we'll hire him. We got a new engineer, it looks like. So we will... I'm thinking about hiring him. I don't know. He's only $937 a year. We'll hire him anyway. He'll be better off in the long run. So we will use our engineer to our advantage. And we will put him on this train. So this is where it gets tricky, because now we have 3 engineers, and it's kind of confusing, because if you don't read it right, you can hire the wrong engineer on the wrong train. So we got this counts on the Denver and Casper train. He's on the Denver, or the Casper to Denver train, and he's on nothing. He has no plots. So we will put him on our wheat train from Manor to Denver. Now here we got a problem. So we got more locomotives coming in, and we got 1 track for our station. So what we have to do is we have to expand our station. So that way we have more tracks coming in and more trains coming in. So what I need to do, I need to figure out how to get our supply train, our supply track in to the second
My
line
headhunter has just helped you to reduce your staff costs.
We will extend our supply line, and we will cancel the planning right there, and we will build the route. So now we can take our demolish tool, and I want to select from here to down here, and I can't do it yet because there's a train in the station about to be loaded and unloaded. So we will wait for our trains to roll in, and then we can demolish the track, which I should be able to demolish the track. Okay, there goes that line.
Somehow,
So
your trains don't run smoothly.
And demolish that track. So now we can add in this line. And I'm not too worried about my competitors because they're just saying things, saying that, oh, my trains don't run right. My trains do run right. It's just they like to cause a lot of drama. So we will put in our signal again from here to there. And now our train should automatically swap over to the second track. Okay, he's not swapping over, so this is going to be a problem. So here, we got to select our train, we got to go to our rail line, and we got to go to our option mode. Our option mode, which allows us to switch tracks up here. And I can also tell it I want meat or cloth, passengers or mail to come in. So I want him to switch over to the second line if it'll let me. So which it did. So he's going to come in and out. So that way we can get our main supplies in. Hopefully I didn't put the wrong train on the wrong track. I have a bad habit of doing that. So we got everything hooked up properly. All of our signals and everything are hooked up. So now we just gotta let a little bit more money roll in. And while we're doing that, I'll explain. So these little green stars here, it says I get a connection bonus of $111,000 if I hook up my line from the cattle from the mill.
You should keep your trains in better condition.
So I can do that, but it's a window, so I have to connect it from September 17th, which I just missed it, which is fine, it's no big deal. But I have to connect it to wherever on my line, and then I get paid for it. Which I usually don't do that. I usually just ignore them. I mostly focus on my cities. So we can try to focus on Denver now. So now Denver needs the supply of cotton. So we gotta find a cotton farm, which is the closest one. I think is right there. Let me look down over here. Yeah. So the closest one to my tracks are right there. So we gotta somehow figure out how to go around the corn and all that to get to our tracks. So I'm thinking what I need to do is I need to put, so I want to put in a large train station if I possibly can connect up to it. I want to try to get all three of these at once, which I can't, so that's fine. So I'll just put in, I can put in a small station probably and get money. Nope. Okay, so I have to put in a medium station. And I want to kind of rotate him right there, so that way I can hook up to the falls if I want to. So I'll add my line. I want to do this line because if I want to use this line for something else, I can. I mostly do. Sometimes if the trains don't catch up on their cargo, most of the trains will do more cotton instead of vegetables, or more vegetables instead of cotton, so then I'll run a second line to help it catch up. So replace that track. Now here's where it gets kind of hard, because I have this circle here, the red circle. It won't let me build any track close to that station, or to the cattle farm. So now I can run my line along, and I can tie in to the same line, but I have to tie in further back. So that way I'm not interfering with any of the signals. So the track breakpoint, come along up here. Okay, so I gotta go farther back. Hopefully I ain't gotta go too far back, because I don't really want to go too far back. Okay, so now my main problem is it won't let me purchase the track because down over here I have this red zone. And I don't know why it was red, but all I gotta do is put in a waypoint, and now it's not red. So now our inclines are 0, 2, 0. That's 2. That's 0. That's 2. That's 4. It's not too terribly bad. That's 4 and 0. So we got our lines tied in. So now here's where it gets kind of confusing now. So I have to put in the signal. So since I have this signal running on for this track here, all I have to do is just add a signal for this new line that I just put in. So that way it just tells the train to come up to the signal, and if another train's waiting up here, it won't proceed farther up. But I also have to put in another signal right there. So that way, just in case the game glitches, which it always does, I have to put in one right there. So that way, if this train, this new track that I just put in, if it comes up here, then this line right here, this train would come up and stop at the signal, or then we'd have a mess up here at the station. Because then I'd have to delete the train and everything. So now I gotta put in a new train. So we'll do that. We'll do freight only. We'll do Denver to Collins Farm. And then we'll add our locomotive. Put in the John Bull. And now he has to wait. So now we can sit here and wait. See, like right here, we got a problem. We got our main train that we just put in, and he's waiting on this train right here. So my main problem was, the reason why I messed up was because I put this guy from Denver to the cotton field, or the cotton farm. So now I gotta go to manage train, and now I gotta delete him. So that way that train can roll in and get everything done. Check my train list. I always check my train list because usually sometimes oh boy, got another cough. Sorry about that. So I always check my train list because usually most of the time I have an empty line that I can use instead of creating a new one all the time. So now what I need to do, I need to come from, oh, and you can easily get lost in this too. So I need to come from the Collins Farm. Oh. So I'll go back, put everything on freight.
No pain, no gain.
So I need to come from there to there. From Collins Farm to Denver again. This allows me, so the train will spawn right here and start here. And he will end in Denver and then go back and forth. So
you don't mind if I borrow one of your employees, do you?
So he will start here, and now he's hauling the cotton. So now I will put in my supply towers. Okay, now he just stole one of my employees, which I really don't want that to happen. So I'll put in a supply line right there, just because I don't want anything bad to happen. So now I gotta go figure out what employee he stole from me. Okay, that's good. So we got a stoker. They keep the trains stoked and they give me more power from the trains. So now I want to go to my passenger train. Okay, he stole my engineer. So I want to throw her on my Casper to Denver train for my passengers. And I want to throw my stoker. And he also stole my security guard too, which I did not want that to happen. So now I'll come to a spy, and I'll spy on Roger, so I'll steal his search points. I'll take a sabotage person, and then I'll target on Roger, and then I can sabotage his train station and industries. I'll sabotage his train station. And then I'll place it in Kingman. So now we got the saboteur out there.
Spend more time improving your research department rather than sending people to spy on me.
So
how dare you send a saboteur to me?
So that's good. And we stole something. And our saboteur also succeeded. So now his train station's sabotaged. So he can't do anything.
Somehow,
but
your trains don't run smoothly.
He's got more better trains than I do. So I gotta figure out how to improve my rail networks. So I'll spend some research
I must
points.
admit, this locomotive does make a good impression on me.
I have to spend the research points, and then I can get better trains. So here where it gets kind of confusing, and I'll go back to the engine shed and I'll show you guys. So this train right here, it's an express train only, so it's for passengers and all that. This one here, this nice little blue one, it's for freight only. So now what I have to do, I have to replace my locomotives and my route properties. I have to put this blue one as freight only. So now it replaces all my freight trains. This guy I can replace on the passengers. So I'll do the passengers and mail. And as farther and farther as you go in the game, it actually helps you actually separate your trains from passengers and freight, because this diesel locomotive, he's an express train only. And then let me see, this guy right here, the Texas 210 Ford, he's a freight only. So it's easier as you separate your trains, then you can go. So that way, because the way your competitors do it, they don't care. The way they want it, they just want the diesel unit, and that's it. So you want to try to figure out how to get efficiency in and how not to mess up. So we got a new guy, he's a conductor. He gives us 10% more mail. So what we want to do, we want to find our Denver train again. That's our freight. And as faster these trains go, it gets harder and harder, because then they start clogging up the line. So the only problem with the personnel and everything, I have to watch them. So right now they're all happy, they're all fine. But later on down the road, if I hire a security guard and the security guard doesn't like them, there'll be at the bottom right hand corner of the picture, there'll be a sad face. That means I have to fix the problem. So I either have to fire the security guard or get rid of all 3 workers. Which I probably just get rid of the security guard, so that way I can make my train more successful. But right now it's a non-stop express train. It's pretty nice. And the best thing is, you can ride along on the train. We can do side to side, back to front, well, mostly back to push bar, bull bar, as they call it in the railroad. We can ride it. We can also control the whistle, which controlling the whistle is pretty cool. And then we can go back into this camera mode. And then we can watch the train. Or I can just stay like this on the train and watch it. The train's not doing too bad. It's pretty good. Right now he stopped at the fueling tower. He's getting fuel. So we can also do the same with our Denver to Calgary. We can also watch him. We can do all that. And screwed up time again. Now I'm gonna get smart, and I'm gonna go back to my company, and I'm gonna go to his company again, and I'm gonna see how many shares I can buy. Now I can buy all of his railroad. So now I currently own 100% of his railroad. I own everything that he owns. I can either merge him and kick him out of the business, or I can just keep him, let him build up his railroad.
He who saves wins.
Which it doesn't look like he's been doing anything, so right now he's not a big threat. The only time he'll become a threat is when they decide to jump rail lines on mine. Because you can go over rail lines with bridges and tunnels. I'll just do an example here. I'll grab this here. So if I want to hook up another town, so let's say I want to hook up Casper to the cattle, because if they get a meat market, I can jump rail lines, and I can, like this. And that's what your AI competitors will do. They will jump your rail lines to make it harder on you. So I'll clear that planning. It's kind of gets hard, but kind of not. And then right here is a town list that I'm currently in right now. I can see from everything from Atlanta. I can see all the towns. We'll find our main town here, which is Denver. I think I passed it. Okay, so we'll go back to our train list. Yeah, Denver's right here. So it tells me Denver makes meat and cloth. So then we can click it and we can see the ownerships. It's a private ownership, and if I want to, I can auction it and I can buy it at the auction. Up here on the right hand side, it tells me where the percent. So right now 17% of the people are running on train instead of horse and wagon. Same with the mail. I'm at 2% transporting mail, and I'm at 17% on passengers. But the more trains and more stations and the more cities I hook into, that number will increase by a lot. And it also tells me that every month 156 new people ride on the train, and it drops, it goes up and down. And then I can also tell the city size. It's at level 3. It's under the information on the top left. It tells me my city size, which is currently at a level 3. It tells me the inhabitants, which is 53,393,000 people. And then the consumption rate, which is 18%. And the fulfillment of demand, which they're at 60%. So I've been keeping it pretty well fed. And then if I go in my product line, I have more steak in Denver than any other thing that I need. So right now, I have to connect milk, so I need milk. And we're gonna need some other stuff too. But I can do pretty much almost anything from 1990. When I hit 1990, I can make automobiles, gasoline, toys. I can do whatever. As long as I have these 3 businesses, I can buy them and I can demolish them. Ugh. And I can put in whatever business I want. Let's do an example here. So I'll click on him.
He who saves wins.
And then I can buy him out for $458,000. So it sends it to auction. So in a couple minutes I'll have it.
How wonderful.
Okay,
You won
I
an
just bought
auction.
it. So what I can do, I can demolish it for $240,000. Which currently I don't have the money, so I gotta wait for the money to roll in. Okay, now we got the money. So we can demolish it, and then we can put in industries. So I can put in a meat, a brewery, weaving factories, tailors, sawmills, distilleries, dairy farms, and so on and so forth. But I have to have the right area and the right population and the right demand for it. So if I want to do a refinery for oil to gas, I have to have so many people, I have to be at a certain year, and I have to have the demand for the gas. So if I have a car industry, which I'll probably put a car industry in my town, Denver, once I get the demand for it, I'll end up putting a refinery in Casper for the gas, and then I'll haul the gas down to Denver, and then I can haul the cars to wherever that needs it, whatever town needs it, and all that. And the best thing is, if we ever get the demand for gas, we can put it in Denver, and we got a nice little oil field over here we can tie into. Okay. But then, now since I've demolished this building, I have to wait and then it gives Denver an opportunity to catch up on goods and stuff that they need.
You should keep your trains in better condition.
And here's the guy again saying that I'm sucking at my job, which I don't think I'm doing that bad. So this is an accountant I just hired. She basically gives me a 16% discount on all locomotives that I can buy. Whoops, I don't want to add that. See, like right here, I just checked my train list and I got a new line right here that I did not want. So next time when I put in a new train, I can come into my train list and select it, and then I can add in a new line or a new train. So what we will do, we will come through and check. He's a market career. So this guy, I can either do safety or comfort, which I'm probably going to do comfort because I get more passengers equals more money. And it looks like my competitor hasn't done nothing. Honestly, I don't know how he's still succeeding in this game. I'm surprised he hasn't gone out of business. Upgrading trains left and right, so I don't know how he hasn't gone out of business yet. And you can go out of business. In order to, you'd have to take out a lot of bonds, and you'd have to go significantly in a lot of debt in order to lose everything in your business. So we will go back to our company. And just because I want to get rid of him talking, I will merge his railroad with mine, so I will have a monopoly. So, if I merge his railroad, he has 705.8 miles, he has 3 train stations, 0 businesses, and I get $51,552 in cash. So that's a big value for me. And it also says that the trains were removed and they sold them and everything for $143,000. The 14 employees wait for 10 weeks when applying for a new job. So
I will enjoy the finer things in life from now on.
He is completely kicked out of the business, so now it's just me, and all of his train stations and track and everything are gone. So now we will try to fix the breakdown problems, and I know why they're breaking down. So every station that you put in, oops, that was a misclick. So every train station you have has to have a machine building shed. So that way, when the train rolls in, if it has to, they can do maintenance on it. So you need to put it in every train station that you own. Sometimes I don't do it, sometimes I do, depending on how much money I have and how lazy I am. Oh, here's a newspaper. California becomes new federal state. And it's just fun little facts about it. Like this one. Mother forgets child. Baking soda bucks. Father and son. It just tells me what's going on, and it just makes some funny jokes and everything that you can get a laugh out of. I'm going to close out of this, so whoever wants to stay here and read the newspaper, they can just pause the video, and then after they can resume it later on when the video becomes pausable, because I don't think you can pause it right now since I'm live. So we got all of our tracks. Denver is not increasing in size, so I gotta try to figure out what Denver needs to increase. Looks like they need, whoops, too far. It looks like they need sugar. They need sugar. Looks like fruit. So we need to find the closest sugar farm, which there's one right there, but I don't want to make that long of a track. There's one right there, which that's kind of close, but not that close. There's this one we can do, but we got to do a bridge. Okay, so I'm debating here if I want to do a large train station here in the middle where I can connect up to the cotton, sugar, and the vegetables. Safety. Oh, we'll bet on that. Or if I want to do the other sugar field over here. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna connect to the train station, the large train station down here. So that way later on in the future, I can run whatever I need to wherever I need. Okay, so we kind of built it in the middle of the mountain, which is kind of funny. But later in the long run, that's going to be a problem. We'll construct a machine shed. So we will run from this far outside track. We need to find our Denver track, which is currently down over this way. So this is where it gets kind of costly in money, because I have to come through these mountains here. So I will cross to right there, and then I can cross from there, and then I can tie into right there, and then I will tie into there. Okay, so here is the problem. We have to cut through this big, enormous mountain, which this is a 36% incline, which we gotta break it up. If I can find out how, so it's not allowing me. So every once in a while, just click it. Oh, don't want to do that. That is an 83% incline. But that's only a 10% incline. Is it cheaper if I go up and over or down through? That's the only good question. See, and now I have this nice big metal bridge right here, which kind of looks pretty cool and beautiful. But I don't think I want the bridge. I think I'd rather have the tunnel instead. Because now we got 57, 53% inclines, or maybe 49. And it keeps getting lower and lower. We'll just clear that. Okay, so I'm gonna clear this. We're gonna start completely from scratch, and we're gonna try to figure out how to build a tunnel through there. So I want to start from maybe right when it starts to do the bridge. So come back, place that there, come through, go to there, come through. Okay. For a minute there I thought I overshot it. Okay, so then I'll just connect it right there for now as a track point. Okay, so see, now we got a 0% incline. But we got a nice little hole through here. I don't like holes that much. So is there any way that I can drop this down? Okay, I can drop that down right there. That gives me a 2% incline. That gives me a 1. Okay. We can shorten up this bridge. So we'll shorten up the bridge. Okay, we shortened up the bridge. We made it lower, closer down to the river. So now we'll take our track pointing again, and then we'll come up just a little, and then we'll tie into the main line, which is right there. Okay, so now this is going to cost me $1,444,661. I only have $1,414,383. So I gotta wait for money to come in, but I don't want to wait for the money to come in. I'm gonna go ahead and take out a nice big loan of $426,000. That should give me a nice expanding budget right there to build the line and to get some new trains rolling, which I was talking about on the train list, how I had this empty train route, which I want to use it. So I'll hit circle on it, and now I can go to rail line. I want to go to my route. I want to do my freight only. So then I'll start from there, and I'll go to Denver. And I'll save that, and I'll add the locomotive, and then I'll add the blue train. So see, now he's loading up on sugar and vegetables. So now he's got to sit here and wait. So that's why I always add the signals. So that way they don't have to sit there and wait, and we don't have a mess on our hands. So we'll go from here. Okay, so this track here I can get away with because adding this signal up here means that this signal, well, actually no, I can't get away with it. I have to push back these signals here, but I can't do that. So I can push them back by a couple feet, and I can remove that signal. Okay, so that looks good. So currently we have 4 rail lines right here running into one station. We have 4 trains running into one line. Which, that's probably going to be a bummer. Because the faster they get, the harder they get. Because then we're going to have problems. So I'll just add a supply tower right there. And then I will come back over to this train station. And then what I need to do is I can expand these tracks. Which I can do that. And basically what I'm doing, I'm expanding the tracks out farther so that way I can put a supply tower in instead of having one supply tower supplying it all. So it's just easier doing that instead of having 50 million supply towers wherever you need them. Because the supply towers, they can only stretch across four lines of track. So we do that. And I'm not going to worry about this back end of the station because we're not currently hooking up to any cities right now. We're going to focus more on Denver and try to get our hometown to populate and increase in size. So now what I want to do, I can add an industry. I'm thinking adding a beer station or a brewery so that way I can make my own beer. So that way I can take the one out of Casper and supply Casper with beer. And then I can add Casper to something else, whatever I want to do. It's tough calls. You gotta make the right decisions. You gotta make the right calls. Security guard, not too worried. Engineer. So we'll hire engineers. So we got our engineers. New applicant. This is a surveyor. He gives me less % on track. Costs. Check my research. I currently have 1,000 points. So I will buy the lantern. I'll buy the telegraph. Okay, so this is where it gets fun. I can buy the dragon for the freight. And I can also buy this guy for freight. This guy only goes 27, this guy only goes 32. So I want to do the 32 mile an hour guy. And I'm just going to buy the rest of these cars. The research points. Okay, so we have a dining car, so that's going to increase passenger if I decide to put it on. which I probably won't. So now we're gonna go into the train station and we're gonna look at our train. There's our whistle. And our train looks nice. It looks beautiful if you ask me. I'm a big train fanatic. I love trains ever since I was little. We will set him as freight only. And now he's gonna be on our freight trains. I'm getting more personnel. We got a stoker. We got some conductors. Oh, this is where it's gonna get really confusing now, because now I gotta go through the train list and see what's what and who has what. I think we bought a security guard. Yeah, we got a lot of them. Okay, see what I mean? So, the engineer and the security guard like each other, but the security guard and the stoker hate each other. So, I mean, find a way to fix the conflict between these two. Okay, so I fixed the conflict. I added another different security guard. So if I can get this train moving so fast, also the boat. So I added a sniper. My bad. My engineer. I'll add my sniper. Just for fun of it, I'll add a conductor, and then we'll add a security guard with a 9% to look at. Okay, so we got a big fight. The security guard doesn't get along with our engineer, so we need to fix some, put on this strap. Okay, so they all like each other. Everything's fine. They're all happy. So now we ain't gotta worry about it. Oh, and we missed an auction. Or did we? Yeah. Okay, we did miss the auction. I thought we didn't, because it was still ticking. So, we got all that done, taken care of, and out of the way. So, we will just sit here and wait for Denver to increase in population. Now Denver, they put it in the sawmill. I don't know why they did. They should have just waited for me to do it. So I was going to put in something that I needed. So now I got to buy it out and then demolish it. So, but I'm going to buy out the cattle here. If I buy out the cattle, that means I can expand the industry, which means they'll intake more cows and put out more meat. Here's another newspaper. Let's see what's in the funny papers today. Like here, down here at the bottom left, 12-year-old runs a marathon. And then it tells me salt action for the brain. Baked glasses found. And then down here it just gives me a little tip. It says, a great tip. Salt Lake City Mary Jane was more than a little amazed when she received a $250 tip from a guest as he paid his breakfast bill. Her boss, the owner of the diner, married her the very same day. Okay, never mind. I guess that wasn't a tip. I guess that was kind of like a funny joke. So, but yeah, these newspapers, they have funny jokes. They sometimes give me good advice. So, I mean, it's not that bad, but it's kind of bad because then it means it's a new year and it's a new era, and I currently failed all my tasks, but we're in free mode, so we're not too worried about it. But somehow we gotta figure out something else. I think what we might do, we might not worry about Denver now, because we got everything all set up nice and neat on Denver. I think we might hook up another city, or either that or we can work on Casper, and we can get Casper built up to the ground. Because right now Casper's not doing too well. That's gonna drive me nuts. Every time I say Casper, I'm gonna think of the friendly ghost. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna expand on Casper. We're gonna upgrade the train station. So now I gotta fix the line here. Oh, fuck. I just did a big no-no. So I accidentally deleted the line that I shouldn't have deleted, so now I gotta put that back in. Okay, so we'll put rebuy. So anything from here down to Casper is going to get destroyed. So you're going to get connected. And then you're going to become connected. And I'm going to do this as short as possible. Gotta build the route. So now I got to fix the signaling. So okay, we got the signal fixed. I gotta put that one there. I gotta fix this line that I accidentally deleted. Okay, so we got all that done, but it looks like I'm gonna wrap it up here. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and hit the ring. My bad. Sorry. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the little bell notification, so that way next time I go live, you can get the notification of when I go live and what I play next. Stay tuned in. I'm possibly thinking, depending on how well this gameplay goes on this video, if I get a lot of views, I might do another video on this game. If not, then I'll try a different game. I got a couple different games I want to try. But like I said, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell notification. I'll see y'all in the next chapter.